Well, not before we hear from someone special. Somebody who did something historic. Somebody who took the big three out one by one. Somebody who's bargaining for the middle class, who's bargaining to end tears, who's bargaining for a strong contract, who's bargaining to end COLA. Our international president, Shawn Fain.
Not afraid to take a stand, take a stand. Everybody, come take my hand, come take my hand. We'll walk this road together through the storm and the weather, cold or warm. Letting you know that you're not alone. If you feel, I'm not afraid to take a stand, take a stand. Everybody, come take my hand, come take my hand. We'll walk this road.
All right. You can try to read the lyrics off of this paper before I lay them. Sorry. But you won't take the sting out these words before I say them. That's right. All right. So good afternoon, UAW family and friends. Again to the big three. Can you? It's my absolute on the door. Another casualty. Green. As we speak, the company, Ford Motor Company, wants to shut down this training center now. It's one more casualty in the long line of buildings that just keep on getting shut down. Of the 65 plants the big three have shut down in the last 20 years. It's got to stop. Looking out at this sea of red shirts today, I see power. Power of a united class. Right now, at Ford's Michigan Assembly Plant. Right now at Stellantis' Toledo Assembly Plant. And right now at GM's Wentzville Assembly Plant. Around 13,000 of our members are on strike. And depending on what happens as we continue bargaining, more may be joining them really soon. For the first time in our history, we're on strike. Not just against Ford, not just against Chrysler, not just against GM, but all three. As we've said for months, nobody should be surprised. The target was the big three. And that's because all three have made record profits. In the last 6 months alone, they made $21 billion. That's money that our workers, the work of our people, create. In the last decade, they made $250 billion. $250 billion. While our workers have went backwards. All three of the big three have price gouged American consumers. They've ripped off the U.S. taxpayer. And all three have nickel and dimed the American worker. All three have failed to recognize the contributions that our workers make. The sacrifices we've endured. You know, the retirement insecurity that over half of our workers don't have anymore. That's what you have to look forward to after you worked in the big three for 30 years. Knee replacements, shoulder surgeries, and no post-retirement health insurance, and no damn retirement security. We've created these profits, and these companies have forced our hand. You know, over the last 8 weeks, the CEOs didn't seem to be able to find the time to show up for bargaining. But in the last week, in the last 24 hours particularly, the CEOs and the executives have found a lot of time to be able to go on corporate news and talk the talk. And we all know what they say. They say they can't pay us a decent wage. But there's always money for another stock buyback. They say they can't provide a dignified retirement. But there's always another special dividend for Wall Street. They say they can't provide a cost of living allowance. But there's always millions of more for the CEOs to bump their salaries up. You know, Mary Barra, CEO of General Motors, was on CNN just this morning. And they, of course, gave her an 8.5-minute segment. And she said every management talking point you'd expect to hear. And in those 8.5 minutes, she made more money doing nothing than any auto worker in America makes in over 2 weeks. The day before that, Jim Farley, CEO of Ford, was on CNBC, sitting right over here. He said if they give us economic justice, it would bankrupt the company. He talked about how we can't pay auto workers too much because then public school teachers and firefighters would get left behind. I don't know where the hell he's been living, but public school teachers and firefighters, everybody's been left behind. Even paying us the shit that they pay us. That man made $21 million last year. In their economy, the CEOs get everything, and the working class gets shit on. In their economy, workers live paycheck to paycheck while the billionaires buy another yacht. In their economy, we make all the sacrifice and they take all the profit. In their economy, one of our workers would have to work 400 years to make what a CEO makes in 1 year. So we're going to wreck their economy because it only works for the billionaire class. You know, it's sad. We look what we've been through in the last 15 years. The banks get bailed out, and we get our homes foreclosed on. The big three get billions of our tax dollars to fund an EV transition. They got billions of dollars to get bailed out, while the workers got left behind. They want to use scare tactics now, saying we're going to wreck the economy. All the pundits are saying that now. All the media talking heads. It's going to wreck the economy if we get economic and social justice. We're not going to wreck the economy. We're going to wreck their economy. You know, I find it pathetic when they try to use scare tactics. They want to scare the hell out of everybody, not just our members, the working class in general. They want to make you think you don't deserve your fair share. They want you to be afraid because they're afraid. They're afraid because they see their system, where the billionaires keep everything, crumbling. And we're not afraid. You know, I say this a lot, and I love this quote by Malcolm X when he talked about freedom back in the civil rights fight. When he said, when a person tells you they believe in freedom, but in the next breath they'll tell you what they won't do to get it, that person doesn't believe in freedom. And it's the same for us in our fight. We have to do whatever we have to do by any means necessary. We have nothing to fear. The only limit we have It's the limit we put on ourselves. We've got to stop it. No limits. Look around. You know who's scared? The corporate media is scared. The billionaire class is scared. And the big three is scared. I look around here, I see power. You bet. I see faith. And I see a working class that is fed up and fired up. I see working class people from all walks of life standing together. UAW friends and family, there's only one thing left to do. When I asked you if you were ready to rumble, you all said you were. You all know what we need to do, and now the whole world knows what we need to do. When they tell us to sit down, we stand up. When they tell us to shut up, we stand up. And when they tell us to give up, we stand up. Stand up. Are you ready to stand up? Then let's stay in the fight and let's go to it. Thank you.